What up, G's? It's your boy, Prophet74. Today we're going to continue the build, but we're going to add in the fans and we're going to activate the power for the pump. And we're going to set up a couple of things that I didn't mention last time. So if you're just joining us, chill, relax, ask any questions you guys want, and let me know what you guys think, because we'll try to get this sucker up and running today completely. So far I'm gonna move this further back, a little bit back. Let me just start with that first, let's go ahead and move that sucker back. And then I got extra parts in here. I got a lot of parts. The USB that I was looking for earlier, found it. These zip ties that we're gonna put them on here. I'm just gonna save them all because we're gonna see what's going on. So what's up, guys? If you guys see the description, I'm trying to finish the build. I started this build already. It's almost done. I need a couple things. We're gonna
Lone Star, what's up?
What's up, Lone Star? Lone Star, I'm sorry you haven't received the box. It's been sitting in my car for almost a week that I'm gonna send to you. I promise you I will send it out this week. So it's worth it. It's gonna be worth it. Trust me, man. I'm gonna set it up and send it to you, man. I'm sorry, it's just been sitting in my car and I had to stop by a post office, drop it off, and do all sorts of things. But I promise you, I'm gonna get it out this week. You'll get a box, all right? You'll get a box. Trust me, you're gonna get a surprise out there, right, bro? All right. So we're gonna start with continuing with the build, and right now we're gonna add
Lone Star, cool man.
All right. We're gonna add these Christmas lights. I call them Christmas lights. But we're gonna add these fans, these Corsair. They're 120s. They're called. Let me get the proper names from, because they are called Corsair ML 120 Pro RGB. So these are RGB. We're gonna set them up here. I only have 2 of them, unfortunately. I thought I had 3, but I guess I only bought 2 of them. And I'm gonna set it up in here. See if we can get it up and running right here. And I'm gonna try to remove this part so I don't have to fill in my so I don't have to actually stick my hand in here and start moving the stuff. And I'm gonna remove this and move it a little bit further back. So let's go ahead and start that process first, because this is a little too close to comfort with the video card. I don't want it to maybe do some sort of surge on it or anything like that, because it might damage, and the circuits are right behind it. So I'm just gonna move that a little bit further down, set up the actual fans. But first we're gonna start moving this fan, because I'm not quite sure. I don't like this, man. I don't like how it's sticking here, and it might damage my video card, and the video card's expensive. Well, it's not expensive. Well, it is if you don't have the money, So it is quite expensive if you're trying to get a video card. I don't want to burn out a good video card. So right now I could just slide it back over there. Still, I think I'm gonna have to go a different angle. And we're gonna do another upgrade here too. We're gonna actually do 2 upgrades in one today. So let me see if I could actually move this over here. I think I'll have to stick this one a little bit further back or somewhere, or maybe spin it around this way. How about no? It's gonna have to stick in that same place. I guess there's no other place to go. So we're probably just gonna stick in the same freaking situation, because we have nowhere to go. Yep, it's pretty much I'm screwed. It's in the same spot. I'm gonna have to go. Damn it! I really thought I was gonna put it somewhere else, make it a little different, but no, I don't have no choice. There's not that much room in here. Unless I move it to the front, I can be facing to the front. It'll be a good suggestion. But if you guys ever built the computer, not all the cases are the same. So people that buy the cases think that they're all gonna fit in with their motherboards and their GPUs. Well, What they demonstrate on the commercials is that you got to remove certain things. You got to maybe sometimes even cut some parts out. Like I had this one case I bought, beautiful case and everything, but there's a big old metal piece blocking it, and the motherboard couldn't even fit in there. So I ended up removing it, and by removing it, I avoided the warranty. But you know, cases are these days are really cheap and inexpensive. They're not that much these days, so it's one of those things that I attempt to like them, but there's so many of them out there, and they come out with the lights now, with the course, like, you know, the Thermaltakes, they're really good. Let me see if I can adjust this one right here. Really good. Yeah, there we go. Thermaltakes are really good. They're one of the best towers so far, but they make them very ugly. You know, they have no good design, but they have a lot of airflow in here. If you notice, this one has a lot of air. I mean, you could circulate air through all sorts of different places, you know. What I like about them is that they make them space, and they have a smaller version, a half a size version. The smaller they are, the less space and the more heat they generate. I like to have things separate. So what I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna zip tie these two, and probably tie them up here. I don't like this touching the video card somehow. But other than that, we're gonna extend this. This is a USB connection that I forgot to connect the other day. This is a 2.0 connection USB, and this is for the pump. So I'm gonna have to send this sucker, plug it in here, and send it all the way through the back. It's gonna have to come out through one of these. Come here, come here, come here. So we got a special guest today. What's going on? Come here, come here, come here. This guy, come here, come here. Oh, this guy his name's Jax. He's a big, ugly dog. Huh, you ugly dog? He's a big old mutt. Nah, actually, he's a golden retriever. He's already, how old are you? 9 years old. He's been with me for quite a while, and there he goes. The first thing he wants to do is be carry, and we're talking about 90-pound dog, all right? all right. You're gonna knock the chair down. Okay, go sit your ass over there where I can see you. In case somebody comes in, bark, all right? Yeah, so he's a good watchdog. He actually tells me things. So right now, we had an earthquake. It was a 4.0 earthquake. Those in California felt it. Unfortunately, I didn't. I was lucky to be freaking driving when they happened. It was a pretty large earthquake, as I was told, but I didn't feel it. I was blessed to be in a car driving that I didn't even have any chance to even feel anything. So as soon as I got home, I got these text messages, these Facebook's posts, and people were like, "Hey, did you guys feel it?" You know, in being in California, we get those shits all the time. It's just like there isn't nothing I would go through. So I'm gonna give you a little story. If you guys remember back in a true story, back in the days, we had the biggest earthquake ever recorded in California. It was a Northridge earthquake. And during that time, I was in college. I was going to Northridge. I was in CSUN during the time. But it was during Christmas break. And I wasn't there at the CSUN campus. And I lived in the dorms. So what happened was that my dorm was the only dorm that was condemned. All the dorms in the area were okay. And my dorm was the only one that was condemned. And I'm like, I dodged the bullet. I wasn't there. I was supposed to be there. It was not my fate to be there. Luckily, we were on Christmas break, and I didn't get to experience that, which is great. But I did lose a friend out there. If you guys ever remember, there was a building that it had a parking lot underneath. The building actually crushed the tenants that were living in the bottom. And it looked like a 2-story building when it actually was 3, including the parking lot. I ended up finding out this after, you know, he was in the news and everything, and I was like, oh man, the guy I knew, you know. I met him back in the days when we were in summer bridge program, and it's just you know, I could go on and on with the story, but earthquakes to me, I mean, they come and go. I mean, we're gonna get some aftershocks, so if I run out of here, it's because we're getting an aftershock, all right? So let's go ahead and finish up this thing. Now, where was I? So we're gonna extend this cable. This is the USB cable that generates the pump for the water to actually start circulating on the system. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna plug this sucker in here through the back. Maybe plug it in here. I'm gonna plug it here, so you guys can see it. Let me move it somewhere where you guys can see better. You know what? I'm gonna turn on better lighting. How's that? You guys can see a little bit better. Get this thing here. Here we go. And get some more lighting. Oh, this is perfect. There you go. That's better. Let's see if I could get a better lighting right there. There you go. Trying to put all these lights, but it gets hot after a while, you know. So this is a pump that it's going to generate the circulation of the liquid that's in here. The fluid in here, it's like car fluid, but it's not car fluid, all right? It's like antifreeze. It's pretty much the same kind of concept, but it's not antifreeze. I don't have the name of the actual fluid in here, but it's similar to antifreeze. It's made for overheating and overcooling, so it generates. It never solid. It becomes a solid. It's always a liquid form, and it stays as a liquid form all the time. So I just plugged it in here. If you guys see it on the, let me see if I. Oh yeah, I'm blocking it right here. So I just plugged it in. The pump. The pump's right here on the CPU on the CPU pump. So this cable, I would just cross it in here and plug it in here, but it's gonna look nasty. I don't like any crossover cable. I don't like cables touching any of these components in here, even though they're cover and protected. Some of these things are just not made for. I mean, after time, it just, you know, I don't trust them. So I always like to keep them away from everything. That's just me, you know. In your build, you could do whatever the hell you want with your build. But on my builds, I like them nice and clean, you know. And not all the time, I'll be honest with you. I've been in rush. I rush things sometimes that I tend not to clean up. But I'll come back later on and do it. So right now, let me move this out of the way. This one too. Shut this one down. It's kind of useless. We're going to flip this one over. There we go. Woo. It's a heavy sucker. I'm telling you. Really super heavy. So I just going to cross the cable. Where the hell did I leave it now? I just passed it back here somewhere. So the motherboard. Oh, here it is. Right here. This cable is going all the way to the bottom. And I got to find out where the hell's the motherboard plug-in for the CPU. So hold on. So right now, should be on this one right here. Yeah, I passed it right to the right place. So I'm good. So grab it here. Oh, I don't want it to cross any other cable too. So I like to go clean. Cross it here. And all this cable is not going to be, I'm going to cable management later down the line. I could put another hard drive in here. Another one out here. But for now, we're just going to cross it over. And put it back in there. Here we go. So. Oh. Damn. Just. Oh, it was a cable. Okay. So I just crossed it back here. Here, let me see if you guys can see it better. There you go. So the cable, here it is. Here's the cable. This is a USB, and it's a USB 2.0, and it's very simple to plug in. You know, it's just like a puzzle piece. It's missing a pin. It doesn't have a pin here, so there's only one format in here and one way to plug it in. So you can't mess this up. If you mess this up, you got a problem. Now, a lot of these things you have to consult manuals, especially on the pins. You know, the pins are the hardest thing to plug in, but once you do like one, it's down the hill from there. They have these extensions too that they sell for the motherboards, or they come with the motherboard that it gives you a description where to plug in, so you can plug them in here, like you can pick them up, and all you have to do is put them on the base, which is very simple. It's like a Lego piece. You plug them in on top, and then you just coordinate. Now, some of the motherboards are getting very clever, and so are the towers. They're coming color coordinated, so you can actually know how to plug them in. That's too basic. This is the only thing that hasn't changed for many years. I mean, whew, I could remember opening my first computer, and this hasn't changed, the format of it. they're still the same. I mean, it's stupid. How come they can't have one cable plugging and doing everything? They could do it now with the Type C USB, but why don't they just spend the time and do it? No, they have this complicated shit going on that they can't convert into a USB or something. It makes it difficult and hard. So I'm just venting here. Now we're gonna start. Now that we have this, let's test out the pump. We're gonna test out the pump right now. Just plug it in real quick. Turn this sucker on, and you should see. Oh, there it is. You see the lighting? Did you guys? Let me move this so you guys can see it. Ooh, look how beautiful it looks. See it? It's like Knight Rider. Look at that. I haven't turned it on at all. That's what I wanted to see. It's like a never-ending light in there. It's pretty cool. I like it. You could actually mess around with this. Once you plug it in on the USB, it's going to show up on, and it will tell you how hot it is too. With this USB, it tells you all sorts of things. The temperatures, the speeds, all sorts of crap comes out of there. So right now, I'm just fascinated with the freaking light, how it's spinning. It's going to look killer, man. Especially with the rest of the lights. Alright, so enough of that. We're going to disconnect it. We're going to continue on this part right here. I'm going to move it down the line so you guys can see what I'm going to do. And make some more room. So on this part, I like to remove this first. And the reason is that I just like to take this part out and put it together here in front of you guys. So I'm going to move these screws, put them on here. And it's easier if we just remove it and work on it, you know. And then all we have to do is pass the cable out to the top. So on this RGB lighting, we're going to make it look like a freaking Christmas tree right now. So here's a part that I like to remove. I'm going to move this to the side a little bit. Let me make sure I don't have any screws and it won't fall off. Oh, shoot. Actually, I'm going to take it off for now. Put it down here. And we'll bring it back. I'm telling you, this sucker is super heavy. So we're going to work with this right now. And we're going to bring some lighting in here. If you guys are not familiar with these are pretty cool. I mean, I personally like them. They come with a little controller. You could leave this on the outside right here, and you could click on them and turn the colors, speeds, modes. You know, you could a wave mode, circular mode. You could do all sorts of things. So unfortunately, I only have 2 of them. I should have. I thought I had 3, but I think I put it somewhere. I can't find it, and I've been looking for it. But I think it's gonna turn up somewhere down the line. It'll show up, but I'm pretty sure I bought 3 of them. So right now we're just gonna set up 2 of them, get up and running. And first of all, I need to untangle all this crap. I was gonna use them the other day, and these are crazy. Now on this part, when you're setting them up, it's super stupid on the setup. Let me see if you could bring it a little closer. On the setup, there's 1, 2, 3. They're numeric. They're lined up numerically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now on this case, if you plug in 1 and you plug in 3, it won't line up. You can't skip 2. You have to have it continuously. You have to have it. You cannot skip a number. These things are not retard proof, man. So you got to be careful about that, you know. That's one thing. When you're setting these suckers up, what happened? You want to go inside the house? No. You can stay where you're at, fool. Right there. I don't want you to knock my shit out. Sorry, talking to the dog here. Now, we're going to plug these suckers in, of course. And these things are crazy. Now, there's 2 different versions of it. There's a power for the fan, and then there's a power for the actual connection that goes in here. And this is to control it, but it doesn't power it up. It's a stupid setup. I really don't like it. I'm pretty sure they could invent one thing that connects. It could have been one freaking wire doing everything, and this could be powering everything. In fact, this one needs its own power too. So on top of this power, you're generating a lot of shitload of power on this one that you need a lot of power to run these things. All right. So whenever you're gonna buy one of these, they're stupid fans. I personally don't like the way they set them up. I think the whole thing of these fans are a little bit they're a little bit difficult because not a lot of people know that you need extra power to run these things. And now, and to pass these things are even harder. Shit. So I'm going to have to somehow pass them through the back. They have to go underneath. This cable has to go underneath here. You'll see how it's going to light up today. We're going to turn it on today, so let's see. Make sure that these things are properly set up in the back. And they do give you a lot of freaking screws in here. Just got to find the right ones, actually. So I got so many of them now. Here. They gave me extra ones here, too. These are actually it. Let me get these 4. I got so many freaking screws now these days that I just keep them. I have so many of them that are just like, hey, just might as well keep them, you know. Now, these consider the longer ones. You can actually plug in the longer ones, but I have the short ones. I don't like to send them through the other side. So let me see if this one fits. Yep, kind of a little tight, but it's gonna do. So normally when I don't have enough screws, I put 2 at least. I put them across from each other. And let me make sure that this one hits the right place. It's right here. And because I only have 4 of these suckers, I'm just going to plug in 4. Alright. So we got these 2 cables out. This is going to be the mother... And it's going to be... And sometimes you got to make sure if you want sucking air, it gives you an arrow here. Where do you want to send the thing out? So right now, this is going to be floating out because it's going to suck in from the back. It's going to suck in the air from the back. And it's going to blow it out. And this is going to circulate the air. Of course, it tells you right here, where do you want to flow it in or out. So it's going to come in this way. It's going to blow in the air this way. Let me see. Yeah, it blows in the air this way, and it comes on the back. So it's going to circulate pretty good. You could do it vice versa. You could have 2, one pointing the other way and the other one point. But right now, I need to blow it in.
Gaming World, hey.
Hey, what's up, Gaming World? We're actually setting up the part 2 of the computer that we started the other day. And I'm already in setting up these things. Oh, actually, I messed... No, I didn't mess up. I thought I messed up. For some reason, I thought I did. So we're going to do this one here. Somewhere here. We'll have it here. And it's good. Let me see and make sure that I'm doing the right thing by the air. And they have arrows here.
Gaming World, nice.
They have air here coming in here. So right now, this is blowing the opposite way, like this. There we go. So... let me see, arrows in, we're good, we're in business. So we got the 2 arrows, and we got the cable sticking out, so we go hide these, alright? So right now what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over. We're going to find at least two of them, 2 screws at least, alright? Normally people put 4, but I'm just, as long as they're there, nothing happens, and these screws are pretty tight, you know?
Gaming World, thoughts on Jimmy Butler says he wants to play with LeBron.
You know, I was reading the other day that they could have got Cousins for cheap. They could have traded him. They could have got him. The Lakers passed on a good deal. But you know what? Everybody's going to want to come and play later down the line. But nobody wants to challenge the Golden State right now. Golden State's they're going to be really strong right now. And I think that everything's going to be back east. So if you're a superstar and you're back east, you're going to look good and you're going to get a bigger contract. Why would you want to come play with LeBron? You know, when you can't, you're not guaranteed a good contract next year. So the problem is that passing these things in here, that you see the cable? It's hitting, the cable's hitting here. I think we're gonna have to change this. We're gonna have to roll it out somehow, either to the top or to the bottom. We're gonna have to take this apart. I don't like that. Don't like that. We have to find another way to send the cable. This is not good. I just messed up on that one. I need to take that apart. There's no way that the cable... I don't want... This is dangerous, having something like that. So it's going to have to be the opposite way. Yeah, this is it. So this is going to have to go through the outside. It's gonna have to go this way. It's gonna look nasty a little bit, but it's gonna have to go this way. There's no way I could have it that way. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this way. This is the only way. So let's go ahead and fix that up. And that's a very simple fix. I don't want the cable. I thought the cables is not gonna be hitting, but it's hitting right now. So who do you guys think it is on the playoffs for the NBA at the end of the season? Who do you think is gonna make it? For sure, Golden State's gonna make it. I'm gonna guarantee you that one, man. Golden State's gonna make it this year and next year. No, actually not next year because they're gonna have free agents next year. But this year they're gonna make another. They could get another championship. And if they do, they're gonna try to keep those same guys, the same team, the same squad. And it's unfair for the other teams, but LeBron's not gonna get a championship this year. If he does, I'll be surprised. It's because I think he's gonna get burned out if he's by himself. They need another player with him. I mean, unless one of the teams, one of the players like
Gaming World, Lakers vs Celtics.
No way. That's not gonna happen, man. That's never gonna happen. Celtics are a thing of the past. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna run the cable this way now. So you could. This is what I'm doing. I'm passing the
Gaming World, Kuzma.
Kuzma. Yeah. About football, you guys like football? Who likes? I know you guys have your Texas and your Dallas Cowboys, and I don't like Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry. I don't like New England either for football either. I don't. I'm up. You know, right now it's up for grabs for anybody on this on football.
Gaming World, Seattle.
Now, Seattle. I don't know. They don't have a good defensive line this year. They got good receivers, good running backs, but I don't know. We gotta see. Preseason doesn't tell you anything because they're all playing the rookies and they're all playing their has-beens and stuff like that. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have these cables on the outside, and I'm gonna see if I could pass them through somehow. Now I have a missing gap in here, and I don't want a missing gap. I have this extra fan I could put in here too. But then this stupid cable.
Gaming World, Wilson going to carry them.
Look at this guy. Let's see if I could have this in here without hitting. This would be a good one right here. But it's not going to light up, but it'll bring in some air. So let's go ahead and put that in there. I think it fits perfectly in here. This is the only one that's not RGB. Alright, so we'll set it up in here. You know what? We don't need it. Let's just put it up how it is. Get this sucker up and running. What do you guys think? Yes? Put it on or take it off? Alright, let's bring in the beast number 5 or 6, whatever it is. Ah, damn, this thing's super heavy. There we go. Alright, here we go. So, we're going to fill in the gaps now. Like I said, I have these things here. And I'm going to have to pass them through the back. And here. They go through here. And I'm going to have to send them in here. And you gotta find connections for all of them, of course, you know. So it's going to be a pain in the ass. And this one, I'm going to pass it through here. Let's pass them now. Might as well. And see if they even reach. Okay, there's one right there. Alright, there's one, there's two. Now, this is the one that has to be connected. Now, the other one doesn't have to be connected. I'm actually going to connect it. I'm going to have it here. I'm going to paste it somewhere maybe on the outside. I'm not sure where I'm going to put this one at. But it has to be the controller module. And this is the controller module right here. This one has to have its own power too. So, we're going to have to configure this sucker. And this is going to be a hard thing to do. So, let's just get it up and running for now. And then we'll configure it out. So let's go ahead and I want to see it light up. You guys want to see it light up? I want to see it light up. So let's go ahead and plug it in, and then we'll figure that shit out as we go along. So this one is part of it. Oh, I put the wrong one in there. Send this one in here. Yep, this is the right one. And I have extra fan connections, which I have one here. It's right in front of me, which is perfect. Sometimes try not to overdo it with your fans, because you might not have the power for all of them. That one's in there. And then we're going to do another one. This one right here is the fan power. We'll move back here. Pass it over here. And I think I see another one in here somewhere. Whew. Oh. I don't see another one in here. There has to be one. There's an extra. There's always an extra one. And you know what? There is one. It's way out here in the back. Shit, I gotta configure that one out. Maybe I can move this one. One of the ones that I had here closer. Move it somewhere else. Shit. There's always a bunch of them today. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. There's one right here. This one right here is the pump. Yep. This one right here is gonna move somewhere else. Yeah, I got it. I got this. Plug it in there. That one there. And this one's gonna stretch out thin, but it's gonna do the job. And I think we should do it from the on the back. Damn, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I think it reaches. Let me see if but first I have to tie that sucker in. Yeah, let me tie this out so it will move before I start. So I gotta find the right screw. Here it is. There it is. Here's our screw number 1. I know it's a crazy setup, but it's doing the job, you know? And as long as it works, I'm okay with it. So, screw it. That's what I'm going to do right now, screw it. Jax, are you still out there, Jax? Jax! Oh yeah, he's there. Alright, I'm just checking up on you, fool. There's one here. And then we got to do the other one. Where the hell? Oh, there it is. There it is. Then we'll do the secondary.
Expert game. I'm sorry.
You're sorry for what? Why are you sorry, Expert game? Let me see. So, we got these two of them. And today we're just going to crank it up. Get it up and running for now. So, let me just plug it in right now for now. And then we worry about making it look pretty. I just want to run it first. Make sure you guys can see what I'm running. So I'm going to plug this one in here. I'll make it look pretty in a bit. So right now, let's just get it up and running. I got these two here.
Expert game, X Gold.
X Gold. Oh. Alright, we're going to get this up and running now. So we're going to plug in number 1 and number 2. Here it is. So we plug it in number 1. You're forgiven. You're forgiven. Don't worry about it, man. It's on the pass. So here we are. Number 1's plugged in. And number 2 is going to be plugged in. So we're going to plug in these two for now. And we need the power. Remember, not, excuse me. Not just the power supply needs power for the fans, but you also need power for this damn module, which I don't like. I personally don't like this module.
Expert game. Forget about it.
Alright. So, I'm going to plug this sucker in here. And let's flip it around so I can get some power on that. Let me get the power going first. I got it here. I'm going to plug it in now. And let's get this sucker up and running and see how well it works. Here it is. Alright. Power on. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay. We got the module set up. Got the power in there. Let's throw it back in there. And let's go ahead and crank it up. I'm going to crank it up right now. See if it works. All right. So I got the module in there, and I got the fans connected. We're gonna test it out. We're just gonna crank it up. Oh shoot, 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 shoot. Okay, there it is. So let's see how well this Christmas light lights up. I call it a Christmas light. And then we're gonna clean up the cables later, and make sure it runs. So we're gonna plug it in. There it goes. And I'm gonna crank it up. See the power's coming on right here. Let me move this here so you guys can see that it's coming on. It's perfect. I'm gonna turn it on. Lights just came on. They're coming on now. Okay. Let's change it. Let's get some lights in here. Let's see. Yeah, we could do a couple lights off. Yeah. So the front ones came on. Something's noisy here. Something's hitting or something. Okay, that one's work. That one's working. All right. So I got the two fans on. They're cranking up. And the module itself, here's the module. So you could change the speed. The speed of the light, not the speed of the actual fan. See how it's changing? Color, let's change the color. We'll change it to different color. Yellow. Green. Blue. Purple. Okay, let's change the mode too. That's a solid mode. Right now the blue ones are mode. Also, I don't like this one. This is the pulsing one. This is the flashing one. This is the sound of the police. Woo, woo. And there's the white one only. They look pretty good at night when you turn off your computer and turn on everything. It looks pretty well, you know, when you turn it, crank it up. Now this is the solid one. We're actually going to change it different colors. We'll see if we could do a rainbow color. What's the one that was doing? Not that one. I think this is it. Yeah, this is. We're going to keep it at that one. Now, this module comes with a tape, sticky tape. It's a double-sided tape. This, you can do it, keep it on the outside so you can mess around with it. I think I'm going to put it on the outside of this one. There's a area here that could pass it to the back and tape it up.
Descent 323, was up, Prophet.
What's up, Descent, man? Hey. I send you an invite if you wanted to go down this weekend and hang around with us.
Descent 323, nice build.
Hey, thanks, man. Hey, I send you an invite to a shrimp boil. If you want to come down, we're going to have a little shrimp boil, chill, you know. And I think Base Call and some other guys are going to be out there if you want to come down, you know, for sure. Stagger and I are going to be there. So, and if you want to come down, man. It's going to be a bunch of us out there. Anyways, I was playing a new game now that you got on yesterday. If you guys see that high tie game or tie whatever, it's a good concept, but it needs a lot of work. I bought it for $14 right now. It's a good foundation to start with, I would say, you know. So other than that, I would just leave it like that right now because the game is well. It plays well, it runs well, but it needs a lot of work. And the audio's not working right now. Some components are very difficult to work with, but I think I'm going to keep giving it some more chance, and maybe I'm going to try to get a chicken underwater dinner, I would say. But other than that, I'm going to keep trying. Tonight I'm going to try again and try again. Anyways, we're setting up the modules here. We're putting all this together. It's because we're having a LAN party, and this is one of the LAN party machines so you can leave your computer at home. You can come back and show and play here. I'm going to have 2 machines ready for you guys to go. So right now we're setting up this sucker here. And this is part 1. And then we're going to do a part 3 of another build right now. It's sitting there collecting dust and it needs to be built. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this sucker off and clean it up. We're going to have to clean it up. Everything seems like it's running. I could feel the fluid. And sometimes what you guys got to do if you buy one of these are pretty dangerous to put up if you're not sure what you're doing. Now you could feel the fluids running in here, pumping in here, If you don't feel them like that, then you're not giving it power to the actual pump. This is the pump, and there's actually there's another pump in the back of this one, but you got to make sure you're feeling something being transferred in here. If you don't feel this coming, if you don't feel anything like transferring here, you're gonna mess up your computer, your CPU. So just make sure that you guys run that and you know, feel the stuff. You know, just feel it. And I'm gonna show you guys another thing. Let me get my other component out. I got something else that I'm gonna set up right now. It's a little surprise. Little surprise. Right here. Damn. What is this? You're gonna say. What is this? What is this? What is this? Can you guys read that? Right there. It's another one. Can you guys see it? This is a new one. This is a different version of it. And this one's inexpensive. This was like, I think like 40 bucks on this one. It's not that bad, but this one's going to go for the other machine that people have been asking to put a water cooling system. And the other system is not a Intel, it's a AMD. It's a Ryzen AMD. So we're gonna put this on a Ryzen and make it even quieter than it is, because this is pretty quiet, but we're gonna make it a little more quieter. Now, right now, it is freaking. It's up and running. In fact, let me just confirm that. I'm always ready. I have a cable ready here. Plug it in. Turn on the TV. Make sure it runs. Is it running? Let me see. Huh. TV, turn on TV. Did I even turn it on? Yeah, come on, TV. Oh, there we go. Sorry. So right now we're gonna see if it turns on right now. I might not be able to turn it on because I don't have a keyboard and a mouse. So we're gonna find out right now. See, come on. No, I might have to plug in a mouse. Let me plug in one of these sucker mouses. This one right here. Oh shit! Come on. There we go. This mouse is pretty good. I like this mouse. Let's see if we can move the mouse. We could turn on the computer. So turn this sucker on. Come on, come on. I have to turn it off and turn it back on. Okay, turn it off. Power it off. Power it back on. There it goes. I'm going to see if the mouse works. Alright. Is it coming on? Come on. Oh, there it is. We got successful connection. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's coming on. So we're gonna clean it up. We're gonna put some more so right now we're just testing it out, making sure it runs. It's coming up to Windows. No keyboard found, of course. It's not gonna turn on if I don't get a freaking keyboard. So the module, I'm gonna have it on the outside here, so I could always access it and change the lighting on the bottom. But I don't like these two by themselves. I might just add a third one. But I'm trying to find another CPU connection, and I think I'm maxed out. Yeah, I maxed out. Let me turn on the light here. Shit. Yeah. Yeah, I maxed out. I don't think I have another CPU connection. Oh, shit. I don't think I have another fan connection. I gotta tie this up too some more. Yeah, this is loose. That's what she said. Tie this up more. There. Come on. Okay. Shit, I don't have no more fan connections here, so I can't add another fan in here. Everything's taken. They do sell these extenders for more additional fans, but this motherboard is not the best motherboard, but it does the job, to be honest with you. It runs really well. I'm gonna put a M.2 hard drive on here. Not today, because that takes a long time. Other than that, I think we're all set on this sucker. I'm just gonna clean it up, and that's about it. You guys have any questions on this? Any comments or anything? Let me know. I'm here for your questions, and I'm here for the comments on any kind of build. Ask me any questions on any type of machine, any computers, any hard drives. I'm actually doing a new reviews, so we're gonna do a new review to help people out. Like, for example, if you ever buy a used laptop and you wanna upgrade it, let me give you a demo. So say you buy a cheap Lenovo or a cheap Latitude or a cheap system, and you want to update it to something where you're going to be comfortable. I'm going to do a show just about that, updating old machines. And you know, times are hard for some people. Some people can't afford certain things, and it's fine, but there's ways you can, you know, make it your way at not a big cost, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing stuff like that. And Basecock came out with a good idea. He gave me a good idea. He said, why don't you come out with a top 5? We should do, you know, top 5 machine, top 5 things to stream, 5 top things to play. And I like that. So we're going to do that. What I consider, you know, this is my opinion, you know. It could, you guys, you know, you guys, it's a free country. You guys could do whatever you guys want. And you could like any kind of machine you want, but I think that's a good idea. We're going to do something simple. I'm going to do a cheap version and an expensive version, so you guys could check it out. You know, top 5 of something, you know. And I was also thinking about top 5 gamings that are coming out, talking about them and commercialize them, set them up and talk about it. Doing maybe a live streaming and do something like that. But we're trying different things in the show, you know. I'm trying to pick up some more subscribers here and there, but right now it's taking quite a while. You know, it's not that easy right now, especially if you have a job and you have other things to do. And most of the times I spend a lot of time, you know, family and friends and stuff like that. And when I have time, I try to do it at night most of the time. Sometimes I get up really late. I mean, I stream late because either it's a Friday or sometimes we get a day off or something like that. Those are the times I probably will stream. But most of the times you'll find me here in my shop. I'm always working here in the back. I'm gonna start hacking these things. I actually started doing more of the Raspberry Pis. If you guys like that stuff, old school games, like old classic games, we're gonna set up something that you're gonna like. I actually bought some new stuff that's coming in. I'm gonna start giving those things out too, and I have a whole mess of things. I have a box full of crap right here that I need to review. I need to test and review. And also we're going to give away this mouse. Not today. We're going to give this mouse away. I actually like this mouse, alright? But I have too many of them that I need to start giving shit out. So this mouse is already packed, ready to go. It's in the perfect case to send out. And let me take it out, what I'm going to give. But I'm not going to give it out today until I do the review on the mouse. And it could be this weekend. So the mouse already has a dog hair here, because my dog, he sheds a lot of hair. So this mouse is pretty decent, right? It's not the top of the line mouse, but it's a great mouse. It has 1, 2, 3 buttons here, and it has an additional button here on the side of it. But then you have these 2 long ones, and then you have the changing of the speed of the cursor, and then you have the mouse battery life. Let me see if I could turn it on. Here it is. And it does light up. Let me see if I could get to the lighting part. And it has different wireless connection settings. 500 megahertz and 250. 250. And then it has the RGB light on and off. You can turn it off and on. And let me see. You can change different modes in here. It has different RGB lighting parts of it. And different connections for the wireless too. So... And also, it tells you the battery life. When you're playing games, it tells you right here. I just turned it off right now. really decent mouse. You know, you know, for gamers out there, if you guys are watching, you're gonna have to play the game. I'm gonna make a game for you guys. It's not gonna be simple. You gotta watch the video from the beginning to end, and whoever answers the question or whatever it is, secret word or whatever it is gonna get this mouse. So I got the idea from somebody in a different channel that was like, hey, you know what? I don't want to give out shit just because, you know, people are coming to my show and they get lucky and just by putting a comment. No, screw that. We'll make you guys earn it. So make it fun. And if that works, we're going to start giving out gift cards and games. Lots of games. I got a lot of games. I got to give out all these games out. So maybe when I'm playing, I'll start giving out games if you guys like games out there too. Fortnite's gonna start releasing packages that you could sell and give out, so I might start doing that, giving out those packages. Unfortunately, right now the only thing I can do on Fortnite is give you a gift card if you win something like that. So there's no sense of me giving you guys a gift card because, you know, gift cards, people waste them in other things instead of a freaking Fortnite or something. So what I'm gonna do is
Descent 323. I'm putting together a list for my next build. What is the hotness and decently priced motherboards?
Oh, dude. The top motherboard costs $400 right now. It's expensive. But Asus and MSI are making good progress on the motherboards. Those two are the top choices right now, but it's more of the MSI that has a little leg up. But the Asus has more power to it. Like, for example, it's easier to upgrade than it is on MSI. MSI, remember, it's a French company. It's not an American company. Neither is Asus is an American company either. But Asus has been in the business of motherboard more longer than MSI. I will stick with an Asus, and Asus has a couple of motherboards out there, from $400 to $150. Best choice right now if you're gonna buy a motherboard, go to Micro Center or check Micro Center. They sell used and open boxes. Not used, but open boxes or older motherboards. And you'll find some really good ones. You know, for example, I bought... Let me show you this one right here that I have. Shit. This is a top of the line one, alright? Rogue Strike. Alright? This is a top of the line one. This one right here. Really good top of the line Asus motherboard, right? Now, the reason I say it's the top of the line is because it has freaking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slots for memory. If you're gonna fill them up, buy some at that. If you're not gonna fill it up, don't waste your money on this. Now, on top of that, this one right here, this motherboard is it's a Rogue Strikes X299 E Gaming, it's called. All right. Now this one doesn't have a built-in video card. It has 2 slots for 2 M.2. Now that one was $300 or $400, I think. 300, I think. Yeah. And if you're gonna buy a CPU, don't buy these pieces of shit no more, man. Don't waste your money on these. Too noisy. They generate actually more heat because they're bulkier and they retain more heat. Aluminum retains a lot of good heat, and it's a good conductor. You know, aluminum and gold and copper conduct good heat and cold. All right, so remember that. These things, if it gets hot in there, it's gonna get hot. It generates heat. I pretty much don't put any more radiators on computers no more. I put water cooling systems because they're quieter, they're smoother, you know, and they're easy to set up these days. And this is a water cooling system here. In fact, I recommend you the one I just purchased. This is actually pretty good. This is a really good one, and it was inexpensive. But if you're gonna be playing a lot of games, this one only has one fan, right? For it. If you're gonna overclock, I don't recommend you something like this. You want something that has a larger reservoir and a larger maybe 2 fans to cool it down. If you're gonna overclock it, only if you're gonna overclock it. So if you want, this is what I would do. There's a place that you could actually go on online, and Newegg has a good site too. Newegg actually could build your computer in there, and they'll give you recommendations. But Don't go with their
Revo underscore Scov. How much?
How much? This one was, I think it was like $45 on this one. You guys want me to open it up? You guys want me to open it so you guys can check it out? I'll do an open box item, but I'm not going to set this one up because this one's going to be set up tomorrow on another computer, on an AMD. I need some voting. Do you guys want me to open up, or we'll save it for tomorrow? Save it for tomorrow it is. So, recommendation is buy a water cooling system instead of these now, you know. These actually, they're okay, but they're just too bulky and too ugly, pretty much, you know. But sometimes you're not into the ugliness, right? You know, depends how you are, you know. But these things right here, it's just they generate, they retain heat, and they generate heat too. So either it could work against you or with you. So if you're gonna overclock your computer, your CPU, don't recommend you one of these. I recommend you one of these, all right? A water cooling system. Now, like I said, if you're gonna overclock your machine, don't buy this one. This one has a small reservoir. There's a little reservoir, and it has one fan water cooling system. So if you're gonna do something like that, you might have to spend a little bit more, and they cost around $100. The next version, and that means it's a larger reservoir. It's like this big, and it has two fans, the size of two fans, and it cools even faster too. So if you're gonna overclock your computer and run the GPU to a max, maybe 85 degrees or something less than that, then you're better off overclocking. Now, I mean, you're better off buying the larger reservoir. If you're gonna keep it on the heat generating under the 80s, you're good with this, you know. So depends on the stress level of your CPU, and also on what are you gonna be doing. A lot of people overclock the machine because not a lot of people know how to do that. But if you're gonna buy an Asus motherboard or MSI, they're meant for that. People overclock their machines all the time on that. In fact, they give you the freaking tools. They tell you how to do it, and they even warn you before you hit that overclock. It's a warning that you could mess up your CPU. Now, before you do that, consult your manual too. And when you're gonna set up a CPU, make sure there is enough cement in there between the CPU and the actual water cooling. Let me get this. The contact of the water cooling with the cement. If you're not making contact
Revo underscore Scov, what you got in there?
What I have in here, it's an i7 Radeon RX 580. There's 32 gigs of memory. NZXT water cooling system, Corsair fans, and a Thermaltake Core X71 or X70. I'm sorry, X70 or 71, somewhere around there. This is a huge motherboard. I mean, not the motherboard. The motherboard's an Asus Sabertooth Mark 1. It's an older motherboard, but it was for $100 bucks, I think it was, and it does the job. I mean, it's an i7 on it. It's 4.2, I think it is, megahertz, and you go overclock it, of course. Now, if you're gonna buy something that's I have it turned on. Let me disconnect it. So, if you're gonna buy something out there and you want to save money and you want to buy something cheap, I recommend you maybe going to maybe the AMD chip. But let me tell you something about the AMD chip. It has a lot of conflicts with NVIDIA, all right, because it's not supported by NVIDIA. So it because of course it's not a NVIDIA chip. This is a rivalry to NVIDIA. So you're not gonna get too much support if you're running. Say you're gonna do some crazy 3D stuff with the Ryzen, you're gonna have issues with it, especially if you have an NVIDIA chip. So try to uniform the stuff. I had a problem. So let me explain to you. I work in an industry where there's a lot of 3D graphics where I work at. All right, they do a lot of VR. And
Revo underscore Scov, that good, and how much for the RAM?
Oh, the RAM. The RAM's the expensive part. So the RAM, you could find it at I believe it's like, I think it's $100, $150 for the 32, or $100. I have to check the pricing. It's gonna go higher these days because of the the new tariffs. All right, so it might be more expensive, but depends on the. Oh shit! Sorry, it got me. The fan scared the shit out of me. So depends on the megahertz on the fan too. So the maximum right now it's 44 megahertz. I think 4400 megahertz on the memory. So there's different types of memory too. There's a 32 megahertz. There's a 40. There's a 38. I'm not. I have to look at the numbers again. But the 44 was the one I purchased, and that I bought 128 gigs.
Descent 323. Yet I have Corsair H60 on my current build.
Good.
Definitely grabbing a CPU cooler.
Yeah, definitely. So I bought. I'm gonna give you the prices. I bought 128 gigs of memory. 44 megahertz, 4400, I think, 44 or something like that. It's the fastest memory. It cost me $1,185, and that was cheap. It was actually $1,300, but I got a price deal on it. Jax, are you sitting down, Jax? Hold on, I'm checking on somebody. Jax. Oh yeah, okay, you're good. You're good. I'm just looking out for you, fool. Okay, go back and do your job. It's my dog. He's chilling out there in the yard. He's my guard dog. So if anybody walks in my yard or something.
Descent 323. There must be like a 5 minutes delay on YouTube.
Yeah, there probably is. There probably is. Yeah, it's because I'm actually running pretty
Descent
good right
323 for comments.
Ah, you're right. There is a big delay. Yeah, you're right. There is a delay. But as long as it comes through, it's fine, man. It's fine. So memory is expensive. It's not cheap. When people buy computers, they come with normally 16 gigs now these days. If you get a good soup machine. Some machines come with 8 gigs. I highly recommend you souping it up at least to 32 gigs on a machine. To run well, 32 is decent. To run excellent, and you're going to do multitasking, like you're going to do Adobe shit.
Revo_scov. It's okay on here.
Okay, so let me give you a little recommendation. I highly recommend you guys doing this. If you buy a motherboard recent, you got to get this, all right? This is the top of the line shit. I freaking love this, all right? And I forgot to mention this before, and I'm going to mention it here and help you guys out. So say you buy a motherboard that has a 2 slots for an M.2, right? M.2, I'm going to explain to you. If you guys are not familiar, this is a solid state hard drive, all right? This is an M.2 hard drive. This is an M.2 hard drive and a solid state hard drive. Let me open it up so you guys can see it. So the M.2 hard drive is this small. It fits on a slot and it doesn't generate that much heat, all right? Now, if you buy a motherboard that has 2 of these slots and you have only 8 gigs of memory, I'm going to give you a little, I'm going to consult with you and give you some secret that it works. And I'm a witness to it. It's working on my system in the back. It's generating extra memory. I'm going to show you something. Here it is. Now, this is a 16 gig version. If you guys never heard of this, if you guys never heard of it, you're going to hear about it here. This is an Intel Optane memory. All right? Yeah, I might not be saying it right, but it's Optane. Yeah, I'm saying it right. It's my Mexican in me, you know? So this is a Optane memory, and this is only 16 gigs, but they have a 32. All right, and I have the 32 on the beast right behind me, the computer right behind me. It's running on the 32. So say you have a computer at home, and you only have 8 gigs, but you want an extra additional gigs to run temporary. This is a memory. This is actually memory that will make it run faster, and not only faster, but extra boost on all your applications that you normally use. This thing memorizes a lot of, say you play a lot of PUBG, this thing will remember that you play PUBG. So your PUBG is going to start faster, your Windows is going to start faster by, you know, I can't count the seconds, but maybe by 2 or 3 seconds faster, and it gives you that extra boost of memory that you can afford. If you can't afford the memory, this is the next option. These are freaking cheap. We're talking about maybe 30 bucks. 30, 40 bucks. Depends on the memory. This is 16 gigs. It costs you 30 bucks. The 32 gig will cost you maybe 50 bucks, all right? Now, this Let me open it up here. This chip, it's an M.2 chip. But there's only one thing on this chip, right? That it will not run on an AMD Ryzen computer. It only runs on Intel. There's a hack for it, but I haven't done it. I've been trying, and it just failed on me. I just tried different ways, but just to let you know, if you buy the Optane chip, you cannot run it on an AMD Ryzen. All right, just a fair warning if you ever do that. Now this one is a terabyte, M.2. These cost $300, $250, I think, $300, I would say. This is, if highly recommend. This is the new one, the 970. You guys see it? Let me see it. 970. It's 1 terabyte. It runs freaking awesome on any machine. I'm gonna put it back. I don't want to mess it up, man, because that's gonna go in my new machine. Not my new machine, my upgrade actually. Now this Optane, I'm gonna open the Optane so you guys can see it. It's 16 gigs on this one. It's 16 virtual gigs of memory. When I say virtual, is because they're not really there. When you turn on your computer, you're not gonna see the extra 16 gigs. It's a virtual. So it's pretty much a fake 16 gigs, I would say, but they're there. They're there to help you out on the, if say you're using Adobe Photoshop and you have only an 8 gig video card, 8 gigs memory, and you want the extra boost, highly recommend you something like this. You're running 3D projects, 3D modeling, highly recommend you running something like this. Your computer's slower, your Windows Pro is slower. Buying one of these will boost it up. Now on top of that, buying one of these, setting 2 of them up, this one your actual hard drive as your OS, and then this one on top of it, you'll have a great machine. So if you do have the space for it, you can do that. Now I'm gonna show you a little secret here. Damn, Prophet, where you come up with all this shit, man? I might look stupid, but you know, this is what I do in my spare time, man. I fuck around with shit like this, man. So this one right here is a PCI. I call it a condom, all right? PCI condom, I was saying, you know, because it's an adapter for loading up certain things. Now on this one, you could put this chip in here. Put it in there, tape it up. Say you don't have a slot on your motherboard for this type of thing. There it is. Let me see. You guys see that? This is a PCI. They sell this PCI card. I'm gonna put it in here, and then I'm gonna put this stupid chip in here to make it run faster. I'll see a big difference on the boost. So this is an adapter, and in fact, if I don't want that, I could even put in the hard drive in here. But there's a problem. I can't run the OS on this one. I try to run the OS, it won't pick up. There is a way to do it. I've been trying, but right now they're gonna release new freaking drivers. So I could put it as a secondary hard drive. I could put this in there, and then they will show up in here. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna do this one, the Optane memory. So Descent, if you're gonna buy something like that, you want to get that boost, make sure you have your motherboard has 2 of these slots, right? 2 M.2 slots, one for your OS and one for maybe the Optane drive. And if you don't get bored with the Optane, you can always remove it and add the extra hard drive in there. Now these suckers are not that expensive, and not a lot of people know about this. This technology is super old. It's been for since the beginning almost of Intel. They started with stuff like this. It wasn't as popular as it was meant to be, and not a lot of people know about it. Now these days they're getting back in the game, and people are starting to look into this and saying, shit, you know, here I am running with a freaking slow ass computer. You mean there's a way I can make it faster? Oh yeah, you're damn right, there's a way we would make it faster. So what do you guys think? Do you guys have any other questions out there? Any other concerns? Anything that you want to know about the machines? I got a lot of devices here that I could talk about and show you guys and give you some demos on what I recommend. My recommendation is, if you're gonna buy a video card, wait until September the 27th, I think, when they release the new RTX cards, NVIDIA cards. But remember, if you're gonna buy an NVIDIA card, don't recommend you having a Ryzen chip in here. All right, try to uniform it. If it's Intel chip, you're gonna want to maybe get a NVIDIA chip, right? Because like I say, Ryzen and NVIDIA, they're not compatible very good in some graphics, and you might have issues. I've seen it before. All right, it happened, and I'm a witness to it. That's why when you buy a Ryzen, you just don't put an NVIDIA. Sometimes you want to put a freaking RX card, you know, a Radeon 580 or whatever the next model it is, just to keep it uniform. But this is a really good video card to begin with. Now, I will wait for the new NVIDIA chip that's coming out. The cheapest one is $499, and that is set to be even better than the 1080 Ti. For that, for $499, I'm waiting for that sucker. But because I want more, I want to get the next version, which is the whatever the 1020, I think it is, 1020. So I might wait for that one. Not the I would recommend you the 2070, the one that's coming out for you, $499 NVIDIA chip, faster than the 1080 Ti with the ray lighting, which is what you want for new games that are going to be developed. They gave if you guys don't know about that ray lighting, you got to go in and look it up. It's pretty much showing actual reflections on live gaming. So if you see a water and there's an explosion, it will reflect the water and it will reflect the car. You'll see the reflection, you'll see the animation live. That's pretty much what they're meant to say, you know, on that thing. You can generate that, but it generates a lot of CPU and GPU power, and it slows the game down. It just goes against it, which it happens a lot when you're playing these games and an explosion happens, everything slows down or something happens because they want you to see that stuff. In this case, it's not going to slow that game. It's just going to go, boom, there it is, you know. Now, it's possible with the ray controlling now. On top of that, there's going to be 3 versions on the video card. There's actually 4. One's $499. The other one's, I think, $799 or $899, I'm sorry. And the other one's $1,100. And then there's the most expensive one, which is a Quadro card. The Quadro card is not a gaming card, all right? People think it's a gaming card, but that one's going to cost $20,000. That card is made for mostly generating and rendering. Only for rendering, so it's more for the developer. Let me bring on a Quadro card so you guys could see it. And don't tell me how I got it, because I got it. Let me see. If I could take it out, I'll take it out. Oh, here it is. Here it is. And I want you guys to do your homework and research. Research. Research, research, research. Always research your shit. Alright. Now, this is a really powerful Quadro card, all right? You can game on it. You can game on this card. You can do gaming, but it's not made for gaming. This is made for rendering, more of the 3D objects, more of development, game development. And why do I have it? It's because I was doing VR games for quite a while. I'm still spending some time. Now, this was a Quadro 6000. How much is a Quadro 6000, you say, you know? Let's look it up. Let's look up the price. Quadro 6000. Who could give me the price out there? Who knows how much it costs? Faster than me. I know there's a delay. NVIDIA Quadro 6000. Okay, this one's going for, well, price drop, all right? This is a Quadro, oh shit. Never mind. It's a pricey one, man. It's a pricey one. Here it is. How much is NVIDIA selling for? Damn, this is a $450 card. $420 in Amazon right now. It's a Quadro card. Now, this is you can game out of it, but it's not made for gaming. Now, NVIDIA develops 2 different cards. One for business and one for gaming and one for household and whatever it is, right? This one's a business one. This is only for developers and and you know you want to test your game rendering. This is a monster of a rendering system, and it's a 6000. But these are made to bridge them, and they have a bridging system, a really unique bridging system. It's totally different from the actual NVIDIA one. The NVIDIA is pretty much this part. This bridging part is more elaborate in more setting up different connections, different drivers. So if you're getting Autodesk, you need to download a special driver for that, so it could run really good. If you're gonna run more of the pixelation programs, you need to render that stuff. Now gaming, they do cover drivers for gaming, so you're able to play all these games, all these fancy games, PUBG and all that stuff. This is a 6 gig video card right now. It's not too much, but like I said, it's made for rendering and it's made for bridging. You need to have at least 5 or 6 of these suckers. They even make a higher brand than this. There's a more expensive one, like the Titan one. It's similar, but the Titan's a gaming system. They have it has to be the PNY, makes a lot of great video cards for the business, for the game, for the programming. Damn bugs. Jeez. Anyways, I wanted to show you guys the difference. This is a rendering card. Now this one's a freaking gigabyte video card for gaming. See the difference on it? They get it fancier on some of them. It's crazy. This is actually a really good video card. This is a 4 gig video card. It's an older one, but it does the job. And gaming wise, it's really good too also. And this is an AMD card. It's not a freaking it's not an NVIDIA. This is an NVIDIA. Now, any questions out there that you guys have? Do you have any comments or anything that you guys want to know about it? Because I think I cover a bunch of stuff out here. And any questions you have on any gaming stuff, recommendations, let me know. Hit me up, man. Anytime. If I'm not even on live, you can always hit me up and say, hey, I'm about to buy something. What are you recommending? I buy lots of machines, and I see a lot of machines going in my hands, and I test them out. And I'm always looking for something really good. Like this sucker right here. Look at this sucker. MSI. This is a badass machine, but look how freaking thick it is. It is freaking thick. Did you guys ever see that one? This one is a 1070, and this is why it's so thick. Because the size of the freaking video card is that thick, that's why. So they cramped that video card in this sucker, makes it like 20 pounds heavier. But the rendering and the gaming on this shit is badass. You can find these on the used market right now. Any questions before I sign off? Any comments? Any concerns? Thank you guys for watching. And I think I'm going to call it a day and go inside the house and play some of that new game. Check it out. The High Tide, whatever it is. If you guys like what you see, make sure you guys hit that like button, guys. We need the help. I'm going to sign off right now, but we'll be back tomorrow with the second part of the build. This one's done already. I pretty much
Lone
done
Star
everything.
later.
Yeah, I pretty much done this one. We're going to do the upgrade on with the water cooling system on an AMD. We're going to upgrade an AMD that I was been told to do because it's too loud. So we're going to do that. Other than that, I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to call it laters. And any comments, put them right below. I'll come back. And thank you guys for watching late to the show. I'm your host, Prophet74, and I'm out.